Okay, so we're going to do chamfer 2, 2D chamfer. We're going to select our 90-degree blunt chamfer mill. First page default, second page default. Our geometry is going to be the outside rim, upper part of the chamfer. Make sure your arrow's on the outside of the part. We're going to go to the heights tab. We're going to go from model top. Then you go to the passes tab. We should be able to leave this all at default. We're going to go to the linking tab. And we're going to leave everything at default here, but we'll hit OK. There should be enough clearance between our two blocks that this cutter can come in anywhere, so that's fine. If you were nervous about it, you could put a lead-in point up here in the front. Okay, that is it for Op 1 of 7316. I neglected to add a manual op at the beginning of this routine, so let's do that right now. That way we've got a flag within the software when we run the program. So we're going to highlight 7316 Op 1. We're going to do a manual NC. It's going to be a comment, and we're going to put in 7316 Op 1. And hit OK. Now we're going to work on Op 2 of 7317, because that's what we'd want to cut. We want to cut all our roughing cycles. That way you could do a complete set of roughed parts, and then run our finishes, and that way we're getting finished parts off at the same time. Okay, so let's look at our Operation 2 fixture for 7317. And minimize Op 1 of 16, highlight 7317. And we should have our origin in the bottom center of the part. We should have a hat on it, and that looks good. First thing we want to do is do a rough contour around the outside so that when we come and face all of this hat off, we aren't removing a lot of material and leaving a thin wall condition. And let's move that all the way up to the top. And so that should be manual NC number 6. Since we're moving on to 7317, let's go ahead and we're going to do a copy of that. We're going to go to 7317, right click, we'll do a paste. We expand it. We're going to change just manual NC7. Let's collapse the previous operation down. We're going to edit this, and we're just going to change the number to 7 and Op 2. Okay, if you recall when we did this setup, we've got 2 work offsets, so we just need to program in one location. Well, provided we set it up correctly in the machine, it'll run the other location as well. Okay, so the first operation again is going to be to machine away a rough shape of this to just remove stock at the beginning. So we're going to go 2D contour, and we're going to select from our library a 1/4 inch end mill again. We're going to keep the default feeds and speeds. Under geometry, we're going to use silhouette, and we only want the outside silhouette. We'll hit OK. We're going to go to the heights tab. We'll leave the default of stock top. We're not going to go to the selected contour. We're going to go to selection, and we're going to select the top of our part. Because again, this is only removing material on a hat. So we're cutting in between those 2 different planes. And we're going to go a little bit deeper, negative 10 thousandths. That way we make sure we have any tolerance issues taken care of. We're going to go to passes. We're going to use wear compensation, roughing passes. Just going to make some boxes up here. Our step over is going to be 20. thousandths. We're going to do leads on finish. On this, I don't think we need to repeat the finish pass because we're actually going to leave stock to be removed by another cutter. We're going to go to our roughing passes. We're going to do 0.125 on our roughing passes. We're going to leave the other two boxes at default. We're going to select multiple depths. We're going to take 125 thousandths there too. Okay, we're going to put 125 thousandths. We're going to do no roughing step down because it's just a roughing finishing step down because it's just a rough cut. Where you will finish at final depth. We're going to rough the final. We use even step downs. We don't need to leave anything on islands. We are going to check the stock to leave box. And we're going to leave 100 thou radially and 0 in Z. We just want to make sure we're not gouging into our finished part. And in our stock to leave, we're going to leave 50 thousandths. Okay, and we're going to pick the smoothing, and we want 4/10 smoothing deviation. In reality, it's going to round this to 0 for us. Okay, and then we're going to go on to the linking tab. We want to keep the tool down. Our linear lead in is going to be 130 thousandths. We're going to put 0 for our vertical lead in radius. And we're going to put in a preferred lead in edge, which is going to be right here. And the reason being is lead in towards the center of the stock. Okay, we're going to hit OK. Okay, according to my index, this should be contour 4. Okay, the next operation is going to be cutting all this material off the top. This is held in pretty well, and this fixture should be. We're going to come in with a 1/2 inch end mill. And we can actually copy the routine we used on the first operation. Right click on it, hit copy. Close that back up. Go to Op 2. We're going to paste. You're going to right click on it. Go edit. Keep everything on the top first tab at default. We're going to go to geometry. It should select the top of our stock we'd set up. On the heights tab, we're going to go stock top. We're going to leave all that at default. We're going to go to the passes tab. And we're going to go 250 thousandths step over. We're going to do multiple depths. Our maximum step down is going to be an 1/8 inch. And this is not the most rigid setup, so we don't want to torque our part too bad. And we're going to do a finishing step. And our finishing step down is going to be 10 thousandths. We could get some vibration in this area if this fixture isn't tight enough, if this top piece starts vibrating. And we're going to use even step downs. Okay, and then our stock to leave, we're going to leave alone. We're going to go on to the linking tab. We want keep tool down selected. Looks like most of this can be left at default, and we're just going to hit OK. Okay, so it should take several passes, whittling away at all that material on top, leaving us with the finished thickness. Okay, I'm going to re-identify this as face 4. So it matches the paperwork. Okay, now the pocketing routines and some of the other stuff we can copy as well from the first operation. So let's go ahead and open that. We're going to copy the pocket. So right click or Control C, and then right click and paste or Control V. We also have the drilling, which we're going to use the countersink from it. So we're going to copy that routine as well. All the rest of the drilling has been done, but we want to come down here and copy the chamfering routine. Okay, so that's all we're going to copy for now. Let's close this up so that we're looking at just what we're working on. And we got to reapply this toolpath to this part. So we're going to go to the pocket, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename them so that it lines up with your paperwork. So we got the guide. That's pocket 2. This is going to be drill number 9. And this is going to be chamfer number 3. Okay, so first let's go to the pocket. I'm going to go edit. Keep everything on the first 2 boxes the same. We're going to clear out the geometry that we selected from the previous, from the copy. We're going to select the floor edge of our pocket. We go to the heights tab. All of this can be at default. And go to the passes tab. All this can stay at default, and the last one can all stay at default. Hit OK. We should get the same routine we got on the other side. Now let's go to our drilling. The holes are already established, but we're going to put the countersinks on this side. So we're going to go edit. We're going to clear out the 7 holes, and we're just going to select 5 this time. I'm electing not to put it on here because we need as much thread as possible. So we might do a little bit of hand deburring there, but we want as much thread as we can because this is aluminum. Okay, we leave everything else at default, hit OK. We now have those locations, and it shouldn't go deep enough that's going to hit the dowel pin. The dowel pin should be pressed in deep enough that we're not going to hit it. Okay, the next routine is our chamfer mill. So we're going to go edit. I'm going to clear out all the selections, and we're just selecting the outside rim and inside rim, and make sure your arrows are on the correct side, and hit OK. Alright, so that's it for that, and you're pretty much done with Op 2 of 7317. Again, your second location will populate because we're using 2 offsets. Alright, so let's take this manual NC, and we're going to go ahead and do a copy, and we're going to paste that down to the last operation. And we're going to call that manual NC8. We're going to edit that comment. And this is going to be the 7316 Op 2. Okay, let's take a look at that operation. Should be here. And we're looking at our part where it's already machined where the Mighty Bite's holding it. We're going to cut all the material around this for the bracket. Okay, so our stock should look like a hat sticking up on the top in yellow. And we're going to use an adaptive to clear away most of this material. So we're going to go to 3D adaptive, and we're going to select our 1/4 inch end mill. Now I debated about whether using the 1/2 inch on this could, but the parts are really close together and we don't want to hit the adjacent part. Also, the Mighty Bite isn't going to hold on as well as the clamps we made, so I don't want to throw the part out of the mill. So if we were holding a vise, I'd probably come in with a bigger cutter. Okay, we're going to bump up our RPM on this because this is a roughing to 6,000 RPM for both ramp and spindle speed. We're going to go to the next tab. Our tool orientation is fine. We're going to go to the geometry, and it's this green model. And we are going to keep all that at default. We're going to go to the heights tab. We're going to go from stock top to stop bottom, or stop top for both of these. We're not going to go to model bottom though, because we've already cleared out the material at the bottom of the model. We don't want to cut through our clamps and our fixture. So we want to go to selection, and we're going to pick the top surface of our part. And we don't want an offset, we want 0. And we're going to go to passes. Our optimal load, we're going to put at 150 thou. Our minimum cutting is going to be 25 thou. We're going to machine cavities. We're not going to use slot clearing. We want to climb cut. Our maximum rough is going to be 150. Fine step downs of 150. I don't know why those were so big. The cutter's not even that big. Okay, flat area detection is going to be checked. We can leave this at default. It's going to a power of a number. And then on our axial, we're going to leave that alone. We're going to leave these other two boxes unselected. On our stock to leave, we're going to leave 20 thou on both. We're going to go to smoothing, 4/10. And then our feed optimization, we're going to select. And let's deselect only inner corners. Okay, so we're going to go to the linking tab. Leads and transitions. In our horizontal lead, we want 0.13. And we want no vertical lead in transition. We're going to leave this at helix. We're going to change it from 100 thou to 50 for the ramp clearance. And our preferred lead-in edge is going to be here. Because again, we want to lead in pressing against the fence. And then we'll hit OK. Okay, it'll take a little time to process. A couple of weird moves here, but that should be okay. And we also want to lead in here so we're not running into the adjacent part. Okay, so we've got our adaptive. It's going to machine down and leave a stir step on this. Okay, so now we're going to do a 2D contour that's going to finish up these two faces here. Okay, so we're going to go 2D contour. We're going to select a 1/4 inch end mill from our library. I guess which was already selected, but that's okay. It'll reset the RPMs. Okay, we're going to go to geometry. And we're going to select. We're going to select a chain. Right there. And we want it to go to the outside of that, so that's good. And we're going to go to the heights tab. And we're going to go from model top on both of these. There is a little bit of material on top of there, but I think we'll be okay. We're going to the selected contour. Now we go on to the next tab. We want wear compensation. We're going to do roughing passes. We're going to leave those values at default. We're going to come back up and check everything else. We're going to do a 10 thou step over instead of 25. And we're going to repeat our finish pass. We're going to pick multiple depths. We're not going to finish it final. We want to have a nice clean finish on that, accurate. We are going to rough the final. We are going to use even step downs. We're going to do a maximum step down of 0.125. We're going to do one finishing step down of 10 thousandths. We're not going to leave anything on islands. And that's it for that tab. Now we can move on to the linking tab. We want to keep the tool down. We're going to keep the tool down. We're going to leave all this at default. Except for we're going to get rid of this vertical lead-in radius, or lead-in. And we're going to put in a preferred lead-in as